I am bringing the great power of light closer to your attention, beloved students of America and the world. May I, too, have a humble part in this great service of the light to all the world? You are rendering a service to America, yourselves, mankind, and the world. In observing all that has been accomplished, and it is beyond all description, it compels me to draw your attention to the great fundamental work of Kuthumi and myself, in releasing to the world what light was permissible in the beginning of the Theosophical Society. I draw this comparison so you may see that mankind cannot be anchored firmly to the power of light and truth, without knowing this great presence of the I Am, of which your chart represents the eye picture. Dear ones, there is no power to hold you anchored, there is no focus of power until mankind knows the individualized God presence, the mighty I Am. The cosmic light not only permits it, but demands that mankind use the words, I Am, with the understanding that they are the infinite power, and that 333. Each one has this great individualized God presence, which supplies life and ever greater intelligence with which to act. There is only this one source, one point or focus of light to which you can come. Unless you come to this point in your attention, you cannot have its freedom and perfection. Neither you nor anyone on earth can expand the light to a larger degree, until you give your attention to your own mighty I Am presence, and hold it there. I do not mean that you must interrupt your daily activities in order to give your attention to the presence, but when a lull comes in your outer activity, you can turn your attention to your mighty I Am presence. For instance, the ladies or gentlemen who are in the department stores can return to the presence for a few moments between activities, even when their attention is constantly being turned here, there, and everywhere concerning the requirements. There is no individual who does not have 1 minute or 2 minutes in which he can turn his attention to the presence, and receive its charge back into himself and his world. That is practicing the presence, and when you come to do that, beloved ones, you will find such results as will satisfy the most exacting. When Kuthumi and I began to try to release to mankind greater light and understanding, we could only go so far. Really, great accomplishment was attained, there is no question about that, but the light could not go forth to its fullness until mankind understood the individualized presence of the mighty I Am, and the absolute, imperative need of harmony in the feelings. Had we been permitted to call the attention of the people to the imperative need of harmony in their feelings in the beginning of our work, much greater light could have been released. Oh, of course we did show them the need to some degree, but we could not force upon the people at that time what we knew to be necessary. Today, the cosmic light is doing just that in its service to mankind. It is a wholly impersonal thing. Now, the cosmic light is impelling and compelling the feeling world of humanity to accept, take hold of, and utilize this great power which is their own life. All of the ascended masters have said to you that heretofore in past centuries, whatever was considered mysterious, mystical, or occult is not mystical today. It is just your own life being set into greater action. I do not yet feel that it might be necessary or that it will be done, but were we to show you how mysticism, occultism, and all the things that seemed so mysterious were imposed upon mankind, you would be amazed. It was not by us, but by mankind's own concepts. The people themselves, through certain individuals, clothed this great action of life with mystery, because they did not know where the individualized presence of the I Am was nor how its energy was released. That is what makes a thing mysterious. If you do not know its source, if you do not know what you are dealing with, then a thing is mysterious, is it not? Realize this. Is there anything mysterious when you understand it? From the smallest to the greatest, nothing is mysterious when you understand what it is and how it is acting. Remember, you cannot do a thing in the world unless your own life is acting, and your own presence above gives you its life, its infinite power. Through your attention to your own great presence of life, you can draw the intense, ever-increasing fullness of life into action, into your body, and into your human octave of activity. That is where it is required. Life is already full dominion up there. I rejoice exceedingly in 2 very great surprises which are coming forth to you in the near future, bearing right upon this which I am talking about today. Will you, everyone, try to feel that you cannot take a breath, you cannot move a finger unless the power of your mighty I Am presence is acting and enabling you to do it. You cannot think a thought. Let us clear the decks today concerning the power of your own freedom acting right here, and determine with all the power and activity of your presence to no longer accept discordant appearances in the outer world. Beloved ones, why do you still find it difficult to release yourselves from certain things? With one it is the health, with another it is the financial supply. Just because you are unknowingly allowing your attention to fasten to the appearance of the condition. Because your pocket seems to be empty, you declare you have no money. From the appearance standpoint you do not have it in manifestation, but here you do have it. Your presence has all the money in creation, all you could ever use in the world, but because you are accepting the fact that your pocket or pocketbook is empty, it keeps your attention fixed upon the appearance. The repellent force or fear, or whatever is acting, is depriving you because you give it more power in your sphere of activity, your physical focus here, than you do your mighty I Am presence. You have not given the presence the full power which belongs to it. You do not give it the opportunity to act. Will you take the same stand that the messengers did when Saint Germain asked them to go forth? They did not have any money either. It was just enough to get to Philadelphia, but they put the whole activity up to the presence. They said, "Now, mighty I Am presence, this is your work. You have all the supply, money, and everything else that is required to supply us and send us forward, if you want to do it," and the presence did. The mighty I Am presence answered. In every problem, whether it be your health, finances, or whatever it may be, please try to do the same thing and see if it will not give you complete release. If it be your health, say, "Mighty I Am presence, this is your body. I call on the law of forgiveness for all the mistakes I have made, and for getting into this condition. I want to fulfill the law. This is your body. You take command of it and make it perfect." Dear hearts, do you think there is anything in the world that could stand between you and your health if you do that? In doing this you have given all power unto the presence, which is all health. Its ray of light and energy is beating your heart. Then how in the world could you fail to accept its health? The same way with your pocketbook, mighty I Am presence, here I am for service. Whether you want to give a particular service to the light or in the business world, you are still serving the light if it be constructive and it is not harming anyone. This is one thing I hope I can get clear to you, dear ones. The outer world requires tremendous service yet in industry and business activities. You cannot all leave the business activity to go into the service of the light, because you still need material food as yet. So, let the power of wisdom just raise you into the next step, the next, and on and on. Do not humanly try to go ahead and do that. Just say, "Mighty I Am presence, here 7 a.m. 7 a.m. ready, 7 a.m. willing. Send me forth and cause me to do the perfect thing that you wish me to do every moment." Then you will just step right on and on and on, into the perfect activity of the moment. That is what is needed today. It might be that the higher mental body of many of you will want to keep you as a focus of light and power in the industrial and business world, so it can pour its power forth there to harmonize things in the business world and bring divine order and divine justice. Of course, you catapult it forth by your mighty decrees in the mental and feeling world of mankind, but many times there must be a focus for the light, a human form in the locality, in order to hold the power there long enough to establish a permanent accomplishment. This is a point I want to make clear to you, especially in the city of New York. You are becoming a mighty focus of light here. Once your city was the greatest focus of intrigue in America. Now it is about 50-50 with Washington, D.C. That is not surprising. You never saw the capital of any country in the world which was not a focus of all the intrigue imaginable. Now you have come to know this, do you not see? How the call from the I Am students here can change the condition of the city. In the great number of students, which is small in comparison with the population, but great in comparison with the short period of time, think what 500,000 students could do in focusing their mighty decrees into your city, into Washington, D.C. To charge into the mental and feeling world of the people there, like dynamite in action, a mighty, powerful constructive power for divine justice and divine order. Well, is there anything greater in the world which can bring permanent adjustment of all conditions? You need not have me tell you that all civilizations of the world have failed because there was no one in them to call the attention of the people to this great presence of all life, the mighty I Am. Mankind is lost without it. Let any one of you today stop this hour thinking of or giving any further attention to your mighty I Am presence, and see where you would be inside of 3 months. If you have the courage to test it out, you will see it plain enough. I tell you, beloved students, you have no more idea than an infant what it would mean if all attention that has thus far been gained and focused were suddenly discontinued in America. What do you suppose would happen inside of 3 to 6 months? I mean to individuals as well as the nation. We are determined that you blessed ones, who have been so loyal, so sincere, and determined in your application, are going to have your heart's freedom, that you may go on rendering greater service. Beloved ones, if there are any of you who have been having difficulty with your financial supply, get it right down under your foot now and master it. I tell you, that thing no longer has any power over you. Let us stop your human qualification right now. Mighty I Am presence, take command of every mind and body that has any sense of financial limitation. Take out of them that feeling, whether it be fear or whatever difficulty it is, acting as financial limitation. Take it out right now and set them free. Take it out, cause, effect, and record. Set them free right now in the power of their presence, that their calls may be answered with the speed of lightning and the power of complete release. The same activity shall charge forth regarding your health, or the harmony you require in your feeling world. There is no one person living who cannot from this moment hold absolute harmony in his feelings, if he will watch and at the slightest intimation of disturbance in his feelings, say, stop. Any person on earth can control it if he will. Do not let any self-pity act now, dear hearts. Do not yield to anything or say, I cannot do this, or, I cannot do that. Instead say, 7 can do anything, for 7 a.m., the presence and power. When you say, I can't, you are saying the presence can't, because you cannot use I and not be the power of the presence. When you say, I am, that is the full release of the power of the mighty I Am presence at your focus of life right here, to do whatever is decreed. For a moment, will you just still yourselves and let this power which has flooded the room enfold you? Let it just be absorbed into your feeling world and your physical body, like a sponge absorbing water. The charge is tremendous here in the room, and the great ones wish to give you all the assistance possible. Just for a moment close your eyes and feel it saturate your whole body, your feeling world, and your activity. After a few moments of do not let any self-pity act now, dear hearts. Do not yield to anything or say, I cannot do this, or, I cannot do that. Instead say, 7 can do anything, for 7 a.m., the presence and power. When you say, I can't, you are saying the presence can't, because you cannot use I and not be the power of the presence. When you say, I am, that is the full release of the power of the mighty I Am presence at your focus of life right here, to do whatever is decreed. For a moment, will you just still yourselves and let this power which has flooded the room enfold you? Let it just be absorbed into your feeling world and your physical body, like a sponge absorbing water. The charge is tremendous here in the room, and the great ones wish to give you all the assistance possible. Just for a moment close your eyes and feel it saturate your whole body, your feeling world, and your activity. After a few moments of that, just silently say to your presence, mighty I Am presence, charge this forth into my world, my activity, for my financial supply, for my perfect health, for the harmony of my being, and my blessing which I can pour out to all mankind through sustained harmony in my feelings. The remainder of the day and tomorrow, will you try to remind yourself of this once each hour, that the Great Ones may be enabled to give you the consciousness of your freedom in every way? We want you to be such a powerful focus of this light that you can give a clear, marvelous explanation of this teaching. You do not know this yet, but before long you are going to find a flood of people coming into this instruction. It will need every one of you with a clear understanding of this explanation of the I Am Presence and what the work is. Be sure you answer all questions from the books or the magazines. Dear ones, when you can say to the world, now this is the answer of the Ascended Masters to these things, you will find the people will not be so inclined to question you, as if they think you yourself are giving the answer. You have no idea what it means as this work expands. There are a lot of people who are argumentative, and when you say, these are the Ascended Masters' words, and they say, how do I know it is true? You can simply answer, you can believe it or not. The Ascended Masters are the only authority because they are free beings, wholly perfect. Then the people cannot come back to you and say, well, why haven't you manifested this yet? Do you not see the idea? Hundreds of people have said to the students, well, if this light is what you say it is, why are you not out picturing it? Tell them it is none of their business. It is none of their business what you are out picturing. How much do they know about what is in your life stream, which has to be cleared out? When you give that answer to people, you will clinch it. Then they cannot come back to you and say, why are you not out picturing the action of this law more? That is the disturbing action which wants to get you down. It has no power. The messengers have often said to you, if you would so prepare yourselves to answer every question from the books, you could never be tripped up by the human. They were not permitted to go on and say why, but I am saying it to you today, for you will save yourselves a lot of distress. It is the sheerest nonsense for any human being to say to another, well, if you are applying this law, why are you not having greater results? Such a question is purely human, destructive resentment, nothing else. It might be a psychic projection, but still it is the same thing. Do you not see how you are completely released from the responsibility of anybody coming back at you, when you say, these are the Ascended Masters' words? I want to tell you, it is a magnificent thing. You have no idea of the freedom and release from human feelings it will give you if you will do this. Oh, you have no idea, my dear people, how this human, destructive thing in the world is rapidly being compelled to let go. Do not think it does not want to hold on, but if you could see the great quantity of human creation which has been completely dissolved and consumed in the violet consuming flame, your joy would be boundless. You think you have been doing great things in your application. What do you suppose we have been doing in the meantime? I know you cannot think that this sounds egotistical, because an ascended being could not say egotistical things, but I give you this reminder, whenever you have called the presence into action to dissolve and consume discord and limitation, we have added our energy, power, and light to that which you have released, at least 100-fold, because we have the understanding and the clearness of unlimited vision to see what our power release does. This you do not yet fully comprehend. There are so many individuals among the students in America, and now in the various parts of the world, who, if there were suddenly released to them the true vision of their own individual accomplishment, I tell you, they would be dynamite from that hour on. Because they are releasing tremendous power in the dissolving and consuming of the human creation. The Divine Director has rendered the most indescribable service to your city, because it is hoped, and our little lady here, I see was getting the feeling, it is hoped to make this a mighty focus of light. As the messenger has written a very beautiful song, words, and music called Rainbow Rays, so should those rainbow rays connect with Los Angeles and make a powerful focus at those two mighty points on the landed surface of America. I cannot give you further explanation, just now, than that, but it would be a mighty thing. Sometime later you will have the rest of the explanation. You have seen the rainbow in the sky with its various activities, sometimes you have seen the complete circle. If you were up in the air in an airplane, you would see the full rainbow in the complete circle. The rainbow represents a certain activity, for it is a symbol of fulfillment to the earth. Now it is coming into a cosmic activity, and the great cosmic beings are bringing these colors into a focus, through the light rays which your rainbow represents. That will be a mighty activity. Notice, if the segment of your rainbow goes over or through the atmosphere to Los Angeles, then where do you suppose the rest of it is? Oh, it is all there. It goes right on around through the earth and back here. Then what does that do? It is the power of the cosmic light. Through consciously directed light rays, containing all these qualities, the rainbow goes around and through the earth. It regulates the power and activity of the gas belts by the power of the cosmic light. Now you see what your call has done for 3.5 years for this protection. The opening day of your class here in New York, that rainbow, the complete circle, will take its dominion in America. Then, you can understand why this blessed one has had such an all-powerful, impelling force to issue these decrees and do the work in an untiring, marvelous manner, which would enable the protection to be given. What do you think that means? I know this will make you all very happy. It means that it will not be long until in New York and Los Angeles you will have your own mighty temples of light, for the service of the messengers and yourselves whenever we wish to bring them here. These two focuses, according to my idea, should be held invincible in America. I want you to see that this is the culmination and result of your mighty decrees. You have gone on very wonderfully issuing those decrees for the gas belts and all that kind of thing. Today I feel quite honored in becoming the spokesman who brings to your attention the outpicturing of this accomplishment, because I myself have not had so great a part in it. I have had to do some tremendous work in Europe which demanded my attention, and today it is wonderful beyond description. With the continued faithfulness of the beloved students to the presence of light, the mighty I Am, and with an ever-increasing determination to release its mighty power into the human octave, you will see your reward is at hand, if you care to look at it in that way. Yet I plead with you, do not ever do anything for a reward. It is not the correct attitude, but the reward always comes. It is not quite the proper expression, but you are accustomed to using it. Instead of the word reward, let us change it to victory. Instead of your reward will come your victory. It is very much better. I tell you frankly, beloved ones, you have no idea how certain expressions which you have been accustomed to use create certain conditions. You know every voiced expression creates a definite vibratory action, and it would be very much better if some of them were changed. Notice the great wisdom of Saint Germain and the others in bringing forth this work. They demanded and have held imperatively to it, that all technical terminology, oriental expression, and all that kind of thing be left out of this work. The messengers, thank God, have been firm enough to stand by it and keep it out. You have no idea, today, what it means to you by its being kept out, because a new world is before you in which everything will be simplicity and the power of the mighty I Am presence in action. Keeping out all the old worded expression is the only way it can be done. Technical terminology and involved phrasing of mankind was established to confuse the people. Today, it shall be no more. The greatest power of life answers your calls and acts through the greatest simplicity, with purity and honesty of purpose. The cleansing, purifying activity in the world of these students in America has been the most wonderful thing we have ever witnessed. I tell you, beloved students, if you could see what your application in calling to the mighty I Am presence and your use of the violet consuming flame has been, your hearts would rejoice more than anything you could imagine. You cannot make the call without the presence setting its great power of light into action for you. It is magnificent. Remember, beloved ones, your call to the I Am presence, the tube of light, and the violet consuming flame are the things which set mankind free. First, the activity of your presence is a great protection from the feeling world about you. You have enough of your own to take care of, and that tube of light will shut the rest out and keep it out, if you remain harmonious within it. Then, as you ask the presence to pass the violet consuming flame through yourself, will you have fulfilled the law completely. This is a delicate point. When we say your attention will do a certain thing, then we say, do not keep your attention upon certain things. It sounds like a paradox, but it is not. Keep your attention upon the constructive things and not on the destructive or the limiting conditions, for that is the need today. As you do this, you will find such great results in your application. This activity I referred to in the beginning of the opening of the class will do tremendous things for America. However, I will not discuss that further. I will leave it to a later activity to complete it. Stand unyielding in all of your outer requirements. Do not, for a single instant, give power to any of the seeming limitations about you, whether it be concerning yourself, your city, your friends, or anything else. The minute the attention starts to focus there, say, "Oh no. Come back here where you belong. Mighty I Am Presence, sweep into this and correct it." Then take your attention away from it and place it on your own, Mighty I Am Presence. The same way with your body and your pocketbook. If your attention begins to rest there, say, "Hold on now. My attention does not belong there. It belongs up here where the power is which fills my pocketbook. So, go up there." You will find that you will be able, through some of those seemingly simple activities, to gain a dominion and authority in your outer consciousness which is absolutely marvelous. You know, there are a few things which you can get rid of most quickly by ridiculing them. Many times it takes just some little thing to release your complete victory, for instance, like the above expression. When the attention begins to fix on the empty pocketbook and you say, "Oh no, hold on. You get up to my presence where if supply is, it will give you the confidence that you are actually doing the right thing, and of course in such a feeling, you will get the immediate results. The messengers have often offered the suggestion that you charge yourselves in the evening. For instance, suppose you added to your charge before going to sleep at night, "Mighty I Am Presence, fill my purse with the limitless supply of money I require for use in your service of the light." Then, you go to sleep in the full feeling and confidence that your presence is supplying you constantly, and as our beloved Lotus says, 10 times more than you need. Then you will find it will. Cornell, do not be discouraged if your results have not been all your heart desires. Keep on reaching out, as it were, in your feeling, to get the right application which you particularly require to govern your feeling of the condition. I am sure you see why you should do that. If one phase of application is not handling the condition which you particularly require, reach out to the presence and say, "Mighty I Am Presence, you make me feel the kind of application, the right application I should have here in order to accomplish this." Then in a moment it will surge forth and be done. Never forget that the power of light is rendering the service. It is a very wonderful thing to see how the blessed ones are so willing to remain when a service is being rendered. Is there any better place to be in the whole world than in the presence of light and the ascended masters? So, whatever service you are rendering to the light, remember it is the greatest thing on earth. You have been here 2 hours and a half, and that is marvelous beyond words. Every hour you can spend in adoration or attention to the presence, I mean with joyousness, not with a sense of effort, you will see how rapidly you are reaching into the heart of your Mighty I Am Presence, where eternal freedom and the supply of all the outer world requires are released to you. It is very wonderful, beloved ones. You have noticed in various parts of America, in the beginning the students thought an hour and a half was a good while to be focused upon these things. Now you do not think anything about 3 hours. Mankind have been willing to give 8 hours or 12 hours to the contemplation of all kinds of destructive things. Then, why not give 3 hours to the presence of life? Oh, dear ones, this is the most wonderful thing in the world, and when we do a thing because our love to it is so great, then our results are indescribable. I wish I had time to go on and just very briefly tell you about our, Kuthumi's and my, early experiences. If you knew how some of the students called us everything. The human has a lot of audacity, you know, but we were called about everything imaginable, because we demanded a few simple requirements of obedience. I, myself, had some of the most drastic letters written me. So, you should not mind if you are criticized sometimes. I did not, and I am glad to see the messengers do not mind it, then you should not. Dear ones, whenever you come to the point where anybody can say anything they please about you and you just smile and go right on about your business, then you are free, and the rest of the requirements will manifest so quickly. As soon as the outer world of human creation sees it cannot jab you and get you irritated and disturbed, then it knows it is wasting its time and does not bother you anymore. Did you ever see two children, one a great tease who goes around pinching and prodding the other to get him disturbed? That one goes on, and if he cannot get a response from the other, he does not do it anymore. It is the same with human creation. When it sees it has lost its influence over you, it goes somewhere else, but when it starts going someplace else, you say, "Violet consuming flame, seize it, so it cannot act somewhere else. Annihilate it." I want to tell you, beloved ones, you can call to the presence, and then watch it. You do not have to have inner sight for this, but just mentally make the picture of the violet consuming flame going out, as though it were in your hand, directed by your hand, and say, "Mighty consuming flame, seize that thing." It is just the same way with any condition in your world, mighty consuming flame, seize that thing. Dissolve and consume all impurities there. You can handle any condition in your body, as easy as breathing. It has gotten into your hair too much, that is the reason you do not handle it. Do not mind if we use slang phrases, you will have to get used to them. That is oftentimes the reason you can release a thing, because in the certain peculiar feeling which is stirred into action, you are able to let go of it like that. Then it is finished. Dear ones, not one single thing of a limiting, discordant nature can live in your world unless your attention is feeding your life energy into it to make it live. Do you not see that? There cannot a thing reach you, touch your world, or live in your world, I do not care whether it be inside of your body or outside, unless your attention goes to it and thereby feeds the life stream into it to energize it. It cannot do it. Dear hearts, make up your mind to take your attention off the disturbance and put it on the presence, knowing the presence has directed its light rays to dissolve it. Then you are through with it. In this understanding you are absolutely master of your mind, body, and your world. I am very grateful, extremely so, for all that has been accomplished for your blessed selves today. I bless you with all my love. I am supposed to be a rather austere, dignified individual, but only when necessity demands. The ascended masters, beloved ones, are all that is joyful, happy, and, with the happiness that every human heart has craved. Today you are in a position to have this very happiness of the ascended masters manifest in your life, your body, your world. Let it come forth in the fullness of its great power I call the power of light, the great cosmic light, and the great rainbow of the cosmic beings to be charged into your being and world. In all the I am activity in America and the world, with their infinite power of action to carry those mighty qualities which mankind needs to set them free most quickly. May everyone, through the power of his attention, hold this anchorage in his feeling world and activity, so the glory of the light may produce and hold its dominion quickly. Let each one be in the particular service of the light which each heart wishes to render. Whether it be in your business world or anywhere else, just be happy and let the full power of your happiness flow through. Then your associates, your employees, or those who are under this radiation will feel that happiness, glory, and divine order are established, and divine justice is done everywhere, because where individuals are happy, they are willing to give divine justice. It is only when irritation and anger come in that mankind becomes stubborn in the human. Then the human creation of selfishness and discord rush in, causing very lovely people sometimes to want to do the wrong thing. Therefore, withdraw all criticism and condemnation from persons, places, and conditions. Pour it all into the violet consuming flame and turn your attention to the mighty I Am Presence. Ask the Presence to take command of all minds and bodies on earth, and their activity. Charge into their earthly activity every perfection which the Presence holds, and then see the power of the light hold its dominion forever. I thank you.